Welcome to December 11, 2018. I'm Chris McCleary with your daily CIRF report. We're looking for the biggest collective influence that might be affecting the way you think, feel, and behave, and then we're going to be looking at how to surf that energy later. So we have a couple of influences. One is definitely stronger than the other. So we'll start with the weaker of the two, and luckily it's weaker because it's a square, and squares typically are not really all that harmonious. So that in this case, Mercury square Moon increases the need for affection, love, maybe attention seeking, hard to get motivated for the tasks that you need to get done. So luckily that's not all that apparent in the DreamBot, but this one is. This is Mercury Quincunx Uranus. And this one's interesting because where they're placed is also just as important, but it's kind of on a cusp, mainly in Scorpio. And this is about new passions. Your basic needs are altered, and it can be very positive, but it feels kind of anxious. It feels kind of impatient at first, or as you're going through this change or you're being revealed these new things, it kind of feels odd. It feels frustrating, but at the same time, you probably should be able to see the silver lining in that, oh my gosh, I could probably change this part of my pattern, my regimen throughout the day. Also need to talk about numerology, which is 11. It's kind of all over the place, a little bit oversensitive, a little bit idealistic. There's the anxiety again. So there's anxious, and the quincunx is also a little bit anxious. Let's go look at the DreamBot run. So we have two main themes. Obviously, the bigger of the theme is the blue. So salt, happening, died. Now, with the died, I'm looking for the planet that is about death, and that's going to be Pluto, but there's only a real minor aspect in Pluto. So number 2 is going to be Uranus, kind of death of old things, this big change. Anytime there's change, there's death of the old, in with the new. So that's in there. Imaginary, leaves, in other words, leaving. Apocalypse is the other thing for death and rebirth. Customized training. Mercury is always training us. And so is Uranus. Uranus is showing us different, some sort of change. Then the red is the Venus moon. So kind of makes you feel a little bit crazy and wanting and gotta have it. And faces, these are other people, familiar people. Got to match up. So there's a lot of need for that, and it's definitely there. So with the influences, let's talk about how to surf those next. And can't wait for the other camera to come in so that we can really do a transition when this surf thing comes up. But as we look here, I had a lot to talk about in the different opportunities for going into the sidereal, but I want to focus in on the Mercury side. And when we go into the sidereal astrology, which is the outer ring here, this is where the planets really are in the sky. And it's called sidereal. And sidereal, there's different kinds of sidereal. This one shows Mercury in Scorpio. The only other sidereal is going to be your true sidereal. And so you've got not all these constellations are exactly 30 degrees. And so you've got some that are smaller, some that are bigger. But I'm just using the 30-degree sidereal. And in this case, Mercury is aligned with Scorpio. So that takes us into our focus on how to deal with this energy. In general, you've got to get out of the neediness from the square And you've got to get out of the anxiety from the numerology and the quincunx. And you've got to be open, just like a Scorpio is. Scorpio is the investigator of the zodiac. So we're going to be investigating, be curious, be open today. Even if you're tired, going around sluggish, you want to be not looking for differences, but definitely not waddling in your wants and desires, and definitely not too goal-oriented. That was the other opportunity for the Capricorn. You can make a mistake with the moon in there of being too Capricorn and getting too focused on your goals. So watch out for that, because Uranus is all about throwing you curveballs, and you're not going to be able to accept those changes unless you're open, relaxed, and curious. So now with Scorpio, you really got to watch the downsides, and that is the secretiveness, the manipulation, emotional manipulation, even resentment. So you got to watch those as well. But certainly want to pick up on the positive sides of Scorpio and incorporate that into your life today. Very, very important. And what are you going to find are new possibilities, particularly new passions. And when I talk about passions, I don't mean necessarily people. I mean projects. I mean life mission kind of stuff. If you're really in tune with the universe and this influence today, you can really find out that your life mission, this is a life mission day, but you have to be extremely in tune and extremely open and curious. All right? Can't say that enough. And if you're wanting some inner peace, check this out. And there's a free foundations there at interzension.com. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow.